Hello, engaged Americans, fellow deplorables, and truth seekers around the world. Welcome to Straight Out of the Basket, where I take a common sense look at a world increasingly absent of any sense whatsoever. For those of you that aren't aware, the Kamala Harris campaign blew through more than $1 billion in the brutal defeat she suffered. In sharp contrast, the Trump campaign achieved a stunning victory for a fraction of that. Despite the lie spread by the Harris campaign that Trump was funded and supported by the rich, Kamala Harris, in fact, had more billionaires behind her. Sure, Trump had some wealthy people helping fund his campaign. Who doesn't? But Republicans are no longer the party of the rich. The Democrats have officially become the undisputed party of wealthy elites, from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. The working class flipped the script on the Dems, who are now the party of war, censorship, corruption, and big money, cozying up with the likes of Liz Cheney and John Bolton. They don't even talk about the poor anymore. They seem to have abandoned them entirely, instead focusing their messaging on the middle class. Now, I understand the importance of a strong middle class, but tell me, who needs prosperity more? That's a no-brainer. Come to think of it, so is Kamala Harris. In case you're wondering how the Harris campaign managed to burn through $1 billion plus, she obviously overpaid staff, consultants, strategists, advisors, influencers, and friends in the business. Perhaps her whole campaign was just a front to funnel money and enrich her friends, who have now disappeared like the ozone crisis. But the real con artists were the celebrities speaking and performing at her rallies, many of whom were holding their hands out. Kamala rolled out a rainbow of stars to distract supporters from her lack of substantive policies, and substance in general. Most were predictable as sticking your finger in a light socket. True giants on the subject of politics. Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez, Eminem. Wait, Eminem? Whatever. Beyonce, John Bon Jovi, Katy Perry, Cardi B, Meryl Streep. All that's missing is John the Walgreens jab guy legend. A legend he ain't. Of course, let's not overlook the undeservingly iconic Bruce Springsteen. That dude hasn't produced anything worth listening to since Born to Run. That was the 70s. Yes, they were singing, dancing, shaking their booties, and even pretending to weep as they worked the audiences like a lump of clay, most of whom just came for the show. Many of the attendees were bussed in order to create the appearance of excitement for the dullest, drippiest, most inauthentic candidate in the history of politics. I'm afraid she was inescapably burdened by what has been 4 years as vice president. By far the most monumental disappointment in the lineup of dislikable celebrities was Willie Nelson. Willie, what are you doing? Where's your head at? You done gone and smoked too many doobies, man. You're running out of brain cells. Please tell me Waylon Jennings wouldn't have supported Harris were he still alive, or everything I ever believed about country stars will wither like corn in the field. I can see it from the likes of John Cougar Melonhead, but not you. Hank Williams Jr. needs to slap you upside that braided head. Maybe it will knock some sense into you. I can't help but find it nauseatingly disingenuous that so many of the pro-Harris celebrities were paid for their appearances. Boy, that's the way to really get behind a candidate and use your influence to help her get elected. How selfless of them to hop on the gravy train. What great Americans they are. What wouldn't they do when democracy is on the line? What wouldn't they give of themselves for such an important cause? And such an extraordinary woman. She's like Wonder Woman, with a big, big bankroll that she blew like Willie Brown.